Many co-op boards have had to deal with the issue of how to address the problem of dogs in buildings that are prohibited from having pets. This raises the issue of how to manage dogs when no policy is in place. The result of many recent court decisions and government regulations have allowed individual shareholders to have dogs even though their leases and occupancy agreements specifically prohibit dogs. These exemptions consist of what is known as the pet law, that a landlord who doesn't take action within 90 days is prohibited from evicting a person for a dog, or under federal statutes that these dogs constitute a reasonable accommodation under either fair housing or disability laws and are allowed to remain in spite of any prohibition. This creates a situation where co-op boards have dogs but no means of dealing with them. Therefore, many co-ops decide to either waive their dog policies or, if they maintain a no-dog policy, put in place policies to regulate the behavior and actions of dogs that cannot be prohibited from their buildings. We have implemented a series of policies and recommendations for co-op boards. And as a general overview, a policy is very beneficial to co-ops whether they prohibit dogs or allow them, because these policies give you the framework to deal with having people and dogs sharing the same living arrangements. As a general outline, the policies consist of behaviors such as where the dogs may be when they come and go from the building, whether the size of the dog, in some situations breeding is allowed and the type of breed of dog is prohibited. Also, many co-ops impose costs for the presence of dogs to offset the additional costs incurred by maintenance fees and upkeep due to dogs. The other issue that arises is registration of the dogs for licensing and health concerns, as well as annual registration fees as a means to deal with managing the dogs and controlling the population, such as limiting the number of dogs allowed in an apartment to 1 or 2, since it seems unreasonable that a shareholder should be allowed to have more than that in an apartment environment.